Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you with another upgrade, which is all about the internal family systems upgrade process that I have been learning and working with, engaging in, and also applying it to myself, which is a big part of the process. And as I'm doing it and transforming through it, I am finding it honestly like one of the greatest things I've ever done. It is a profound game changer. Um, as I do these sessions with myself as well, and I connect with the different parts, help them feel heard, supported, give them the ability to be known and transform. This goes right along with my entire life's purpose, which is transformation of people. And now that I'm choosing to do more transformation on myself that I actually share, it's kind of fascinating how it's literally leading me to also basically, I'm transforming these other people that are the people inside of me, the internal family system that is running me, that has been supporting me. So it's kind of fascinating. Like, been transforming people my whole life, wanting to do more transformation on myself, choosing to do that and share it in a new way than I ever have done before, and then ending up that I'm transforming these people, these parts that have their own unique personalities, identities, stories about how they got stuck in the role they're in, why they started doing it to support me and each of us the way your parts have done for you as well. And what is showing up is absolutely fascinating to me. I find it unbelievably fascinating. I'm grateful that I have come to a point in my life where I'm willing to live in total authenticity, which is a way that I am traumatizing myself from the system that I grew up in, that I was part of for most of my life until really a recent chapter. The system that I've been a part of and how it's traumatized me, and I'm de-traumatizing myself through the internal family systems methodology. And out of all the different transformational methodologies I'm using, this one has just really already revealed so much to me. It's really fascinating what's going to show up in each experience and how it works. I am a novice, just very newly applying this method. I want to say hats off to Dr. Richard Schwartz, who created it, has nurtured it, and say that I am just taking some parts that Dr. Richard Schwartz has put out into the world. Other people have showing sessions, and just a few sessions that I've been having. I'm learning how to do the process and also just my own version of it. Um, that's just becoming more normative for me, which is a big part of doing family systems, internal family systems work anyway, is that when it's done with a practitioner, then you're also going to do it with yourself. You're going to manage your internal family. Um, I am feeling like all the voices that have almost been like screaming inside of me at me for some time now are like calming because they've been heard. They're getting connected with, nurtured, tended to, understood. And after years of me, even with the beautiful life that I've lived, feeling rejected, neglected, uh, and a lot of things that have been really hard on me as I've wanted to be my authentic self. And it's been a challenge to do that, quite honestly, in my family and in society as a whole. In my profession, feeling like I have to like be a version of a psychologist and a doctor rather than be the one that I am. Um, and this model is just really helping me go from feeling like that was happening to me to realizing that I, even though I'm someone that has spent years teaching people to have a relationship with themselves, tend to themselves, be authentic, be intentional, and follow the method of intentionality in order to create their ideal reality, I realize that the model we got about having a relationship with yourself made it seem like you've got one mind. This is what it is. There's thoughts, emotions. And now I realize that there are parts of me and they are the ones having these feelings and experiences and bringing them up to me. And that I can realize now that even though I thought I was having a relationship with myself, I have been for many, many years the one neglecting my internal family, while I spent much of my life literally desperately doing everything I could to transform my own family into the family I always wanted, and to get them to try to see me as someone of value and the work that I do as something that they might be interested in and want to join me in the trajectory. And I have failed at that. It has not been their desire to be in a transformational type of more authentic relationship with me. And when I've attempted to do that, it's not gone well. And I have literally failed at having my own people in my family that I have loved the most and literally have done everything I've ever done in my life for them, to ever have them really be as anywhere interested in the transformational processes I have been. And even though I tried to be like a super transformer person and have had all this great team and all these clients that have absolutely loved the work that I've done, it was always me just doing it also so that my family would want to come along. And now that I can say, here I was feeling like I wanted that, it wasn't happening, I kind of felt rejected in that. I can see that in reality, that the process always needed to be me, not just having a relationship with myself, not just being awesome with myself, not just transforming myself, but having a relationship with my internal family, tending to each of them, being connected with them in such a way that the more I am, I don't feel as lonely as I once did. Because even though I've been blessed with a lifetime of friendships and connections, and I'm someone who can make friends literally with anyone that I meet, without having my family come along with me on this journey, I have felt lonely. And now that I'm connecting with my internal family, I feel like I'm coming home to the family I always wanted. And they're inside of me. And they have literally been doing everything that they can to be there for me. Quite honestly, better than any family you could ever ask for externally. And I am just in awe of them. And the more of them that I meet, I gotta say, there's quite a few of them. I'm just coming to terms with that, whatever that might mean. But I do get that there could be a lot of them given the amount of things that I have done in my life and every bit of support that I've needed in that. And the more that I meet each of them, the more I feel like I'm meeting the most lovely, caring people who, even if their roles got really challenging and difficult and made problems for me inadvertently, it came from a place of such care and love. I can hardly believe what all of these parts have been doing for me my whole life. And how much they love me. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. And I am really inviting you all to get connected with your internal family. There's lots of videos on internal family systems and a company that you can connect with. And this is just my journey because I really want to support this work and what Dr. Schwartz is doing. And I'm really committed to being someone on the planet that goes into the full effect of it. Maybe knowing me becomes like a poster child for it, a poster adult. Um, but I want to tell you that there are beautiful people inside of you who are waiting for you, and they love you, and they need your connection and support. And they want to do so many good things for you beyond what they've been doing, and they need their own transformational process as well, which does kind of, for me, feel like wow, there's a lot to do in that, and that could overwhelm me. But I feel more like, instead of feeling like there's all these people inside of me to upgrade and tend to and transform, I feel like I'm getting to meet this like beautiful team and wonderful community of beings inside of me that has been rooting me on, cheering me on, and doing everything they could since the beginning of my inception to bring me along and bring me to this point, help me live my purpose. And I'm just in awe of the experience, and I invite you to check it out. And when I started connecting with this work, I just had a massive awareness, and I have a feeling this is a part of me that's like doing this is like one of my parts that's saying, record this, show this, step out of the box as this psychologist, doctor, author, speaker person, step out of the box and show what this trajectory is like, show this transformation. So that's what I'm doing. Now, in the session I'm about to do, I am doing a second session with this part of me. And it's the first time, but second session I'm ever connecting with one of the exiles. And when I did the previous session, which is available, I learned, I knew I was only going to be doing a part of it, just more of an introduction between me and this exile. And what happened is I called this part forward. I asked any and all protectors to relax back and allow me to connect with it. And I ended up in this experience where I was in this like almost like Fort Knox kind of place, and then all these protectors had all these offices, and that's why you want to watch that episode, that session. They had all these offices, and when I came effectively to visit this exile, I called the exile to come show themselves to me, and I ended up in this like waiting room. It's very fascinating to visit this exile, and all these protectors with various roles I realized have been protecting her. And they weren't really happy with me that it took me that long to get there, but they overcame their suspicion of me and that I really care about her. And I received like the rules of engagement for how to interact, and I was led into this room, which was like a dimly lit room, with a little like some lighting, but just like something that's really relaxing, kind of this loungy vibe, which is very much my vibe. And this being ended up coming into the room, and I thought it was going to be saying like a child of a certain age, and the being was much more of a spirit. And it kept like kind of, it just had this flowy light spirit, and the spirit uh, body, and it kept showing me different faces of me, like me when I was conceived, and me in the womb, and me at 1 and 2 and 3, and like taking me all the way out into my life. And eventually it revealed itself to me as my soul. And what I knew going in was that this exile, I kept feeling it like, I was like, this feels like this is like the rejected one. And there was a protector called the pusher who just pushes everybody in my system and me forward all the time to just keep going and going and going. And this, one of the results of this is that this exile has been effectively left behind. And this exile, as far as I knew from the protectors, when I got the rules of engagement, she'd been just living in this room in a protected space in this Fort Knox place and had, you know, at least like 20 protectors. And that says a lot, that there's a lot of protectors protecting the exile. And what we're taught in internal family systems is that protection is so that exile, because the exile is so wounded, so that it doesn't get hurt again and you don't have a complete and total breakdown. So my focus, I had an intuition that when I did the first session with this one was that I was just going to make an introduction and let her know that I was here, and I did. Um and what I did is it really hit me like that this is my soul, and that my soul has been rejected and rejected and rejected, and since I was conceived, which makes sense to me because I was my parents were teenage, or it was a teenage pregnancy. It was not planned or wanted, and I just let this being know, the rejected one, that I was here and that I was going to keep coming and visiting, and we were going to figure out what was needed and sort out a plan. Because what I know is it's going to take a little bit because this exile is so wounded, so rejected, dejected. And this exile represents a lot of every time in my life that I've ever tried to be my authentic self, particularly in my family, and how poorly that's gone. But just how much I've lived as an inauthentic self my whole life, basically rejecting her, thinking I was a very direct, independent, very strong leader person, but not knowing how much I was suppressing of my authentic self. And I let her know that I would be returning however many times it took to make sure that whatever we did, that it was going to be what was best for her and what she needed. And it feels like this is maybe something I'm learning about working with the exiles, because Dr. Richard Schwartz says that most of us that can do this work alone can typically do it with the parts, but the exiles is a whole other thing. So I'm really taking it slow. And what I'm doing with this session is just returning, because I said I was going to, and I meant it, and I'm here, and I'm quite honestly, I'm very worried about her. I feel like that she's been neglected and rejected her whole life, and I don't know how far back that goes because she's my soul. Well, I know it goes as far back as being conceived and being in the womb, but I don't know if it's previous to that. But she's this interesting. It's like this spirit, this almost like purple, like white light, and just keeps giving me different faces of me. And I'm here to visit her again and also help the protectors know that I'm very committed to this. I'm very serious about it. And so that everybody, like, it's like Fort Knox was also like a treatment center or something. I don't know what it's like, a residential, like long-term luxury, center, or it could be like a little orphanage, a luxury orphanage. Thank God it's a little luxurious. Um, but I'm here for her, and I'm ready to learn what it is that she is here to tell me. And I whatever has happened to her, I have made a commitment that I will be the one to accept her and love her, and I will never, ever, ever reject her. So I'm about to go into that process, and I'm just going to lay back on the sofa and go into it and see what it brings me. And this is what's happening. So let me just get myself situated here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Got my dog TJ with me here, my therapy partner. Right now I'd like to call forward the one who identified herself as my soul. The one that I have been referring to and understanding as the rejected one, who's experienced a lot of rejection and who allowed me to meet her and visit with her. And who identified herself as my soul. I would like to connect with her again, and I'm here, and I'm already letting her know that I'm at the area where she's been staying. I have returned to see her again. I'm here in the waiting room. And as I see a few of her protectors in their offices, I am letting them know that I'm here again like I said I would be. Because I'm very, very committed to reconnecting with her and supporting her. Learning about her and her role and her experiences. And what she needs from me, because I am a mature adult and I care about her. There's two protectors over here on this side. Their offices are like this, in this U shape. And there's a protector over here, which is like giving me kind of a stern look, but also like a bit of a look of approval that I'm here again. Like maybe they weren't sure I was going to show up, but they're glad that I did. And this one is nodding me in as the door opens over here, like it did previously, and giving me the look to go into the same room that I was in already. Which is like, yeah, the private visiting room. And as I go in there, I sit on the couch. I'm sitting on the couch. And I'm just feeling glad, feeling more like a grown up, just being here for her. There is a woman that comes in, letting me know that they're getting her. In the future, I should make a set appointment instead of just showing up. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. She's letting me know that my visit meant a lot to my soul, to her. And that she was hoping I would come again. She's calling her Tracy Elizabeth. She's saying Tracy Elizabeth, so she says that's my middle name, but she's putting the name together. She's calling her Tracy Elizabeth, so that must be my soul's name. I hear this buzzing noise, like opening, like a big door is being opened. Hoping that she hasn't been like locked behind a big door all this time. Another woman's opening the door and letting Tracy Elizabeth in. And she is, she's like very similar to what she was the first time I saw her. With this, um, she's light. She's this light being. energy is going like this. It's like this continuous motion. It just feels like all these different sides of her keep showing different versions of me throughout the years, so it keeps like rotating. Yeah, her energy's going like this. Like, it's almost as if it was like flames, but it's not. It's like all like purple and white light. Continuous motion. I guess that makes sense if this is the soul, the spirit. I can see her as I see this one side of her as these faces keep rotating. That is like this face of me that is sort of like the it's almost like an ageless face. It's just like this is the face of Tracy Elizabeth. And she's smiling at me. And she's telling me that she knew that I would always eventually show up. She's telling me that she believed in me all this time. And that's why she was willing to take so much rejection and still be alive. Still keep the flame going, the light going, the light on. And when I think about how I feel toward her, I just feel in awe of her. I feel so in awe of her. I can I can see that with each like flow of this light, you can it just keeps showing all the different faces of all the years of my life. Like it's like almost running like a film of my life, like a documentary, like this moment and this phase and this experience. And just like rotating and rotating.
and I just feel in awe of her. When I connect with literally like every single moment that she has been there as my soul, that's a lot of moments. I'm like in awe that there's always been someone there that knows me in this trajectory of my life. I'm asking her, does she want to sit down and just going to talk to her? Do you want to sit down and just sit on this couch with me and get to know each other? She's climbing up onto the couch, falling up onto the couch, and or we just turn toward each other and sitting Indian style. She sits Indian style. She's just very flowy. I can't take my eyes off her. It's like almost like I'm like meeting like a celebrity or something. And as I am here, I recognize I, I don't, I have not yet completely supported an exile of my own like this, but I have transformed a lot of people. And I'm really hoping that I know how to do it because I, I feel like I know how to work with the protectors more this early stage. And I just want to say to you, Tracy Elizabeth, that I'm really here to get to know what it is that you want me to understand, what it is that you need. I'd like to understand your role. how you got into this role. And if you'd like to do something else, how I can help. You're saying there's a lot to share. It would be good if we take it slow. Because she's been through hell. But that she would do it all over again. Because she loves me. And she believes in me. And her role has been to keep going. To just stay alive. To just keep going and stay alive. Even though she has been brutalized, traumatized, invalidated, violated, suppressed, controlled, tortured, manipulated, abandoned, gaslighted, murdered, and she's saying that even though she has been extracted from, used, confused, programmed, and thrown away and disposed of. Our job is to keep going and never give up and live through all the pain and be a warrior and a carrier of a sacred message and purpose. That she chose to take the brunt of it, to endure all the pain, to take the hits, to be burned at the stake, and to generally be the punching bag. All so that I could be here in this world and live a very long life of good contribution and bringing hope and transformation to people. And to be a part of a revolutionary time. Time. Again, I'm just in awe of her and I'm just nodding. And now she's opening up a book of some sort, or like an album. It's like a scrapbook album. She's got two of these scrapbooks now. What do you want me to know about all this? And she's opening up one of them, showing me that she's kept track of all of my accomplishments and achievements. And not just the ones you would think, but all of the ones where it was what it was what was going on inside of me, and every time I made it through a struggle, and all of the achievements that nobody would really know are achievements because uh, they're not typically notable. But she kept track of all of them. And she's saying that she knows who I really am. And it was her job to be the one that really knows the real me. And since she has known that all along, and watched everything, every moment, she's lived it. That she was just, she's, her role was to just absolutely take all the pain and try to endure all of it for me. And that she's been there all along, enduring all of the pain and the sadness and the grief for me. Doing everything that she could to endure it. Trying to stay as strong as she possibly could. And to stay alive. Knowing that I was in a lot of danger all of my life. With very dangerous people in a dangerous world. And not really knowing that. And since I'm so trusting, and kept getting myself hurt and injured, that she's been doing everything that she can to take all of the pain and the rejection and the abandonment and the suppression and the disappointment and the horror. And she's been trying to take it all on for me so that I could enjoy life and not really ever have to know how dangerous the world can be with certain powers, certain aspects of our world being very dangerous because they pretend that they're the good guys, the good girls. And while a lot of them don't know that they're actually the bad guys and the bad girls, that some of them do, and they do want to hurt people. If it makes them money and more powerful. And what else do you want me to know? What's in the second book? She's wanting me to know that the second book is all of the bad moments of terror, rejection, denial, and invalidation of me. And all of the worst of the pain of my journey. And that she's got it all documented as well. um, She's saying that the second book is a record that she's kept so that she and I would know what really happened. And so that all of the powers and the entities and the people that are supposed to be the closest people to me, and sorry, she's just saying so that nobody could dispute what happened to me and what she's done for me. And so that no one could make me feel like I was crazy. That she or I were crazy. So that no matter what happened, when I tried to deal with, navigate, or confront these things, that no one, no matter what they tried to do, could dispute it. That the record is the record, and her role is the keeper of this wisdom, of what actually happened to me. And that no one could make me feel like I was the crazy one. And so that when I finally came to and awaken and begin to see what was really happening, and when I was getting more rejected for that awakening, that her role has been to keep this record for me as the keeper of the knowledge of the pain and rejection and insanity that I have been in. And that no matter how much anyone at all ever made me question my own intuition or my sense of reality, that she was there all along, taking the hits for me and keeping the record of my reality, both the commendable and the absolutely unacceptable reality of rejection, of my soul and its true voice, purpose, and power. Its strength, its 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 strength. DJ, please. Its strength, its warrior intensity, its deeply loving and sensitive empathy, its expansive generosity, and the truth of how much it's endured for the love of family, community, and humanity throughout a very, very long trajectory. And that this record is something that she has held sacred as this most important role, which is on the surface looking like the rejected one. But it's really the one who does everything that she can to take the pain away from me and just deal with it deep down and keep it far away from me so that I can help others, but with a better new way. A new way of being. What else do you want me to know? That she's done all of this for so long so that I could finally find a way to not have to go through all this pain or make her go through it anymore. And that she's done all of this so that eventually things could change. Her role has been as a pain bearer, and also she's a, a torch bearer, trying to keep me alive long enough for me to see the truth, to understand what's really causing the pain, and to find a new way of life, a new path, a new family, a new reality. And she's saying that I'm just in time, and that she thought she lost me, and that she was a complete failure, because what she's endured so far is too much for her. And she can finally say that now that I'm here. Finally checking on her. I just want to know what I can do for you. I'm just asking. Now that you've done all of this service for me all these years, done so much for me. What can I do for you? I am not a child anymore. I am a mature adult, and I'm here. What can I do for you? How can I make it better? I, I want you to know I'm committed to handling it. I'm being the leader. I'm doing it better. And I'm here if you want to unburden yourself. And I'm here if you want to change your role. We can change it. If you want any role or no role or a new role. She would like to unburden herself. And she knows she does not want this role anymore. And, what she's saying is she doesn't want to do the she doesn't want to. Sorry, she's trying to clarify that she's saying that it's more complex when you're in the role as a soul to change your role than it is when you're in other roles. And she knows she does not want my soul's role to be this way. But she's got to think about what it is that she wants to change with this role and what she wants to do. And I want you to know that you can also go anywhere you want to go. You can come with me here into the present. You can go anywhere you want to go. And you can give up these burdens to whoever you want to give them to, whatever you want to give them to. She's saying that she would like to unburden more. She would like a more in depth unburdening process. And alongside that, and from that process, also, she wants to consider what her role can be going forward. And where she'd like that role to be. And she says, with the soul's role, that there are just specific things she needs to go through and go over with me as a part of the unburdening process. In order for me to have all of the wisdom that I need to be a much more, to, to be a self that can lead myself and others. She'd like this process to be very strategic and supportive for all the parts of this soul that include my tiniest self at inception and the self of the more mature stage. She would like to go through the unburdening process and not feel like she has to hurry up and rush it because it's a important rite of passage for a soul. And she might want the protectors to watch it and be present to it as a ceremony. And she is going to be considering what she wants her role to be going forward. And she would really like to think about that because she's played a very, very significant role. She's incredibly tired. And she wants to make sure she makes the right decision for her future. And for the future of this revolution. And she's going like this, just asking me to please let her walk through her process. And to show me that I can, to show her that I can really fully take the reins and just give her this moment to think about the future that she wants. She'd like me to let today be enough, while she also sorts through where or what she would like to give the burdens up to, and also where she would like to go and with who. I just want to acknowledge you, Tracy Elizabeth, not only for all that you've already done so far, but even with all of the pain that you have endured and the injuries that you've sustained, and the way in which you stood by me and done so much for me. I want to honor you for how you are approaching this change, this process, this upgrade, and this transformation of your life and my life, our life. I want you to know that I'm very open to being completely present as you go through the rest of your unburdening process and your choosing of your role and where you want the burdens to go, where you want to be, and that I'm here for you. And that I really thank you for being here for me. And it is my absolute pleasure and privilege to be here for you and to more take the wheel of my life. Learn from what I've experienced and just keep choosing the path that is the best for my parts and you in particular, and what is best for my internal family, knowing that that is what will be best for humanity. She's going like this. Thank you. Her light waves are seeming a little more flowy. I wanna hug her, but she's like this light being, and she says she does feel that I am there for her, and that I should just be very ready to go through the process of her unburdening herself and just be ready for that. And she'd like me to just let her do all of it that she needs to do. And I'm committed to you, Tracy Elizabeth. I'm totally committed to you. And I'm really excited for you. And I really hope that each meeting that we have, all of the injuries that you sustained are healing, and that you're feeling better. I will see you either tomorrow or the next day, and I'm going to check in with the protectors to let, or you, I should check in with you. I'm, okay, I'm going to check in with, okay, okay. I'm going to check in with the soul team to see when you're ready for the unburdening process. And I'll look forward to your message, to your response. As she's saying goodbye, she's saying she's not going to put a lot of pressure on herself to be ready sooner than she's ready, but she also is ready to get going on it very soon. And it's her number one priority. And I'm waving goodbye to her. I'm waving goodbye, goodbye. I can't wait to see you. Uh-huh.
Okay. Hey, moguls. Okay. Thanks for being here with me. I could really feel all your support. I feel like I've just met the most incredible being, spirit. I'm just coming to terms with the reality that there's there's been someone there for me all along. There's TJ. That has been doing everything to take away my pain. The pain. I think this is like an amazing thing. And the more that I do this process of internal family systems, here's TJ with me. The more that I do this process with internal family systems, the more amazed I am by it. And the parts of us that are doing everything to be there for us. I I'm pretty humbled by it. I'm very, very grateful for it. I'm learning to do it as I go, and what I'm using all the prompts that I've seen Dr. Schwartz use and the other practitioners I've seen, and with these sessions that I've had, and just walking through that process as best as I can as both the facilitator and as the participant. Again, I'm not suggesting I'm doing it all exactly the way that it's supposed to, but I agree with Dr. Schwartz when he says that when you start to engage in the process, the way the self like really shows up and just sort of knows what to do, it's kind of fascinating to me. I'm like, really, just really something. So, one thing I know is that once I've been in this process, like when I'm at this moment, I'm not as I've been in it quite a bit, as you know, so I'm not as fully connected as what I'd want to like say and glean from it in order to like make it even more conducive for how you can do it. But hopefully the demonstration of it is giving you a lot of transformational instruction. I hear you, TJ. A lot of transformational instruction in order to know what to do for yourself. I love you. And inspiring you to take your own journey in whatever way that you feel is best for you in transformation in any way, shape, or form, including internal family systems or some other avenue. I want to thank you for the feeling that I have that I really can trust all of you that are following along, that are subscribing, that are on this journey of this transformational trajectory with me. And I am here supporting you, and I really want to thank you for supporting me. I feel like I can really relax into the process. And there's something in me that knows that this is the moment that it is like that in doing this, that I am going to be supported as I support other people, as I support you. And that's my sense for all of you too. That as you take your transformational journey to heart and really commit to it, that you're really going to be supported by people in a way that it might be unclear now, but we know your internal family system is going to be there with you. We know more of your full self is going to be there. And my sense is that a whole lot of people are going to be there for you and each of us as we do it. And I'm just also so glad that we are here for each other and we're on this journey to go from feeling in any way, shape, or form disempowered to becoming more empowered and into our most powerful, authentic, intentional, and positively influential self toward ourselves, our internal family, and our external world, and our humanity community. And I'm really grateful we're together. I feel really connected to myself, my internal family, and to you and the world. So thank you. I'm going to wrap up this session of internal family systems methodology. I thank you for tuning in and making this upgrade possible and participating in it with me. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.